The summer housing market across the Front Range has been shifting, and July and August brought some big changes as we head into Labor Day and September. So let's take a closer look. At the end of July, the Denver metro had nearly 14,000 active listings, the highest level since about 2011. Homes are staying on the market longer, with an average single-family property taking about 20 days to sell. But that all depends on where you're at, because in some areas we've seen as high as 40, 60, 90, sometimes over 100 days. And that's compared to where we were a couple years ago when houses would go off the market in just under a week. Prices are showing some softness. The median closing price for a single-family home in July in the Denver area was about $650,000, down less than 1% year over year. Condos and townhomes have been hit a little harder, with prices down about 6% year over year, bringing the median closer to about $390,000. Inventory is where we really felt the shift, though. Single-family homes are sitting about 4 months of supply, while condos and townhomes are closer to about 5.5 months. So for context, when we see inventory hit about 6 months, that's considered a balanced market. So for the first time in many years, buyers definitely have some breathing room. So let's talk a little bit more about the Foothills. It's the band of communities west of Denver, like Evergreen, Conifer, Bailey, Morrison, those general areas. Golden could be included in that. So here's where data sources tell two different stories. Realtor.com reports that a median listing price in July was about $430,000, which is down almost 34% from last year, which is significant. But that number reflects a lot of smaller cabins, fixers, land, and distressed properties hitting the market. When we look at the actual sales, the story is much clearer. The median sale price in the Foothills was about $665,000, which is actually up more than 10% from last year. That's a much more realistic reflection of what most buyers are paying for single-family homes in Evergreen and Conifer right now, and honestly even sounds a little bit low, because to find a house under $700 is a bit challenging. But the takeaway is this: there are value opportunities out there. Listings under $500,000 exist, but the market for move-in ready mountain homes is still strong, and properties are commanding prices in the mid 600s and definitely higher than that. Another big theme this summer has been seller concessions. In July, about 61% of Denver area homes included some sort of seller concession, averaging around $10,000 per deal. So instead of dropping prices, sellers are offering credits toward closing costs, interest rate buydowns, covering inspection repairs, you name it. That's a big change from the bidding wars of a couple of years ago, and it shows how much leverage buyers have gained this summer. So if you're a buyer, that's really good news for you. So what should we expect as we move into September? We think that inventory will remain elevated, with more homes hitting the market and buyers moving cautiously. We continue to think we'll see about 4 to 5 months average supply. We suspect that prices are going to stay steady with some modest declines. We're not seeing a crash, but small dips may continue, especially in the condo and townhome segment. The bigger story will remain that concessions and negotiations will be there. Buyer leverage will continue. Expect inspections, repair requests, closing credits, you name it. That's pretty much part of almost every deal these days. And sellers are going to need to adjust. Homes that are overpriced or poorly presented are going to sit. But if you've got a sharp pricing strategy, good staging, and realistic expectations, you're still going to lead a strong market for yourself. So, especially those in the desirable Foothills communities. So to wrap it up, inventory is at its highest in more than a decade. Single-family home prices are holding near $650,000 in the Denver metro, while condos and townhomes are trending down towards $390,000. In the Foothills, listings can start as low as $400,000, but actual sales are closer to around $665,000. But they're both showing strong opportunities. And as we move into September, buyers hold the advantage while sellers need smart strategies to stand out. So if you're thinking about buying or selling here in the Front Range or in the Foothills, now's the time to plan carefully and make the market really work for you. So that's your Front Range market update for August. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next month with what the latest numbers are then.